There came a pair of lapwings flying north towards the sea, following the call of spring, where my love waits for me. My love waits for me.
We've left Shap, and we're about to cross the M6, which is a big marker for our move across from west to east. And we bumped into Emma again, the woman we met on our first day. There are some people we bump into quite regularly and have catch-up tales, and then other people we meet and we never see them ever again. Hope they're okay. And we've walked up now from the M6. It seems a long way behind us. We've waved bye-bye to the lakes completely. As we were climbing away, walking away, we could see through the haze the outline of Kidsty Pike, where we were yesterday. And over there, through the sunny haze, you can see the Pennines, which is where we're going to be heading for next. So, you two, how are you feeling about all this? About waving bye-bye to the lakes, going to the Pennines?
Sad in a way, because I really enjoyed the climbs and the views, and it's a wonderful place that I need to return to quickly. But I'm looking forward and onwards to see the route between here and Robin Hood's Bay and enjoy every minute of it.
It's such an exhilarating experience. It's absolutely wonderful. Just so happy.
So happy.
I am so happy.
I've been complaining that it's too hot the last few days. I don't think I'm going to be doing that again for quite a while. It's raining and it's raining, and it looks as though it's set in to stay. Well, the rain has let up a bit, and we've got miles and miles and miles of nothing. And then suddenly we come across signs of industry, but industry of a rather nice sort, because there, in the middle of all this nothingness, is a large collection of beehives. And I think the bees are being very industrious indeed with the heather. For the last goodness knows how many miles, Ernie's been promising us an honesty shed. And we've passed a couple of places where it might have been and it wasn't. And I'd really started to decide it was a figment of his imagination. But no, we're here and we're going to have lunch. I'm negotiating the gate to get in here and going towards one of the poshest honesty sheds I've ever seen. So, are you going to give us a guided tour, Ernie?
Yes, this is the Stockton Farm honesty shed, set up in 2016 for the use of coasters as a nice little drop-in.
Very something before I take my boots off.
We're now going to go inside. We've been joking about you being described as a burly Australian, Ernie. Is this shed big enough for someone who's a burly Australian? Can you stand up?
Yes.
Yes, you can stand up.
These are the prices on here.
Are you going to let us stop here now for lunch?
Yes, lunchtime here.
Oh, great. I'm quite glad about that.
I paid some money. I think I'll have those flapjacks look nice.
Got to check out things. And there's Lorraine. Are you ready for lunch too? And I'll stop here because I'm going to have my lunch too. So we're on Ravenseat Moor, and we've just seen that we've got company. There are some wild horses grazing over there, and then up over there there's another one, a white one. We keep saying there are things that you only see if you go walking, and I think this is one of them. You probably can't see it with this film, but across the valley we can see how many? So we can see 4, perhaps more, coaster coasters coming down the path we just came down, making their way to Kirkby Stevens, where they're probably ending for the day as well, and we're now looking forward to getting there. Hello, I'm standing in front of Frank's Bridge in Kirkby Stevens, where we're having our rest day. The bridge goes over the River Eden, which is a really important river. It starts up on the moors where the coast-to-coast path will now take us, and it runs in a northwest direction all the way up past Carlisle, and so goes into the sea on the west coast, which is where we started a few days ago. Good morning and welcome to the River Swale, which is running through the village of Keld. And this river starts on the moors just above Kirkby Stevens, not far from where the River Eden starts. But the difference is that this river doesn't run to the west coast. This river runs to the east coast. So that means we've crossed the watershed and we're now really well and truly in the eastern part of our coast to coast walk. I said good morning, and it is a good morning, but it's a different sort of morning because I'm already here in Keld, whereas Ernie and Lorraine are in the process of walking to Keld. In fact, they've probably only been walking for about an hour and a half now. And I'm here already because by the time we got to Kirkby Stephen 2 days ago, my one knee was looking quite inflamed and it really needs a bit of a rest. So I've been dropped off here and I'm going to have a restful day. When we were planning this holiday, I looked at my itinerary and I looked at the number of miles we were planning to walk each day and the amount of ascent and the amount of descent. And there wasn't a single day that was unlike the sorts of days I do in my normal walking. But what I couldn't really plan for, what I couldn't judge in advance, was the impact that walking day after day after day would have on my body. You can't do that. All you can do is be aware, to take notice of what your body's telling you and to work around it. And that's what I've had to do. I've also learnt from it. I've thought about what we've done, and I think when planning future long distance walking holidays, I'm going to take more breaks. If I do the coast to coast again, when I do the walk again, and I think there will be another again, then I'll definitely break up that long day that we did into Patterdale and make that 2 days instead. I think it would make the walk more enjoyable because I was absolutely shattered at the end of it. And I think that would be kinder on my body, it would be kinder on my knees, and I think it would make for more enjoyable walking for me as well. And that's not a bad thing, is it?
So, day 6 of our coast to coast walk. Kirkby Stephen to Keld. And here at the 9 standards, which we reached in around an hour and a half. It's a overcast, blustery day. Lorraine, what do you think and how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Well, I've looked at the 9 standards for 2 nights out of my B&B and looked longingly to get up here. And it was very hot and humid walking up, but just perfect now, nice and cool. And great, great views. Lovely stones, absolutely made perfectly.
Looking back over Kirkby Stephen, where we spent the night. Here we are at Ravenseat, getting our cream teas. Looking at Clive, who's come out for photographs. What do you think, Lorraine?
I think I'm absolutely over the moon. This is the highlight of my 2 weeks coming here. Absolutely wonderful. And the weather's held up as well.
Yeah.
So busy, can't believe it.
It's 2 o'clock and I've just had the shock of my life because look who's turned up already. It's Ernie and it's Lorraine.
Hello, good afternoon.
So how long did it take you then?
Half past 8 we set off.
Yeah.
And it's now 2 o'clock.
And we've had about 40 minutes of a wonderful time at Ravenseat. We were like 2 giggling little kids.
And Ravenseat is?
It's the Owens farm on Our Yorkshire Farm.
Hey!
And it
Tea and
was
cream scones.
wonderful. Served by Raven. And I didn't recognise the lad, he's not one of the family. But Clive came out and was collecting the dirty pots. And the cream tea must have been the best, lightest scone. The jam and the cream were to die for. I had such a wonderful, wonderful time.
People are going to be so jealous back in the club.
Totally unexpected.
And it was so busy.
Mhm.
The sun came out, we saw Clive, Raven, Sid, Miles and Clemmy.
And Clemmy.
And Clemmy was autographing some calendars for people and some books, and she was having a really good chatter. Just sat on the top of the gate with her flip-flops on. It was wonderful and the sun was shining. I can't believe how many people were there. It was so busy, wasn't it? But they give you a lovely tray with the jam and the cream in separate little pots, the tea in a mug with another one of hot water and a little jug of milk. But all what they would have had to do, all the extra work dealing with that, just amazing. It's made up my week so far. I'm absolutely, it was wonderful, wasn't it, Ernie?
Photos and the movies.
Oh gosh. Tried to phone Tony, but there was no reception, just to say, look where we are.
Tony from Stockton Ramblers Club is going to be gutted, he's going to be heartbroken, he's going to be so jealous. Tony, next time we'll go there with you. Next time you're going to have to come with us. Okay. And I leave you two now to have a bit of, I know, I'm drinking black sheep because they have black sheep here. Yeah, you'll have to have something like that. Okay.
Day 7 of our coast to coast walk. Leaving Frith Lodge, Killed, and heading towards Reeth. A fresh morning. Linos and Lorraine,
Good morning.
Good morning.
how are you two feeling today?
Very, very refreshed. Lovely, quiet night in the Dales, and very cool this morning as we've got up. But I'm just looking at the cows on the road. I don't think they'll get much grass on there.
Mary?
Frith Lodge is wonderful. Well recommended.
Well recommended, yes. Not
Yeah.
necessarily for a walking holiday though, because again, they give us so much food. They give us so much food.
And Mary, what's that patch doing on your wonderful leggings?
Do you like my leggings I bought specially for the coast to coast? And the whole effect has been somewhat spoilt by the knee brace I'm now wearing. Because my knee's been playing up a bit. It could have been the weight in my rucksack because of all the water we've been carrying, or it could have been the effect of all the food we've been eating. I don't know. So yeah, I'm taking it slowly. There are going to be some days now where I don't do the whole walk. Yes, I've sort of just had to accept that. But it's good practice for next time I do the coast to coast. I've learnt things and I'll know what I need to do differently next time, you know, and how to pace myself better. But there's still lots to enjoy in the days to come.
New bag.
New bag, yep, new bag.
New adventure.
Trespass bag.
Trespass bag, yeah. And Ernie and Lorraine are carrying quite a few things for me, so
I particularly went for the lunch just in case.
so that could be my coping strategy, you know. I bring Lorraine and Ernie everywhere with me. You can be my Sherpas. We've been joined today by a friend, Julia, from my life before Stockton Ramblers, when I used to live in Wales, when we both lived in Trosglwydr. Was it Trosglwydr? We lived in Trosglwydr together. And Julia now lives in Shropshire, and I'm living up in Mask by the sea, and you've joined us. But you're not new to walking, are you?
No, I've done lots of walking over the years. Every college child.
Got you out there, your parents got
They did, they dragged me, took me in swimming.
So you were saying, put your
trails up the Himalayas? Yeah, into trails. Lots of Lake District walks and around to the Stockton Hills and North Wales and unfortunately, the 10 miles to Reeth. Is that a bit of a distraction for you? Do you think, oh, why am I bothering to put my boots on? I could wear my high heels. No. High heels? I don't know, not high heels. No, not at all. I regularly walk, I don't know, 4.5 miles for fun. I do a few bits. I'm just very jealous of all of you guys doing the whole coast to coast stuff. You know, wish I had the time and the energy to do that. I've got a feeling that after next year she's going to get a lot more time because something's coming to an end. So perhaps next time we do this, we'll come and join us. See how our day goes.
Really, because of me and my knee, that's the reason. We're going on the low-level route to Reeth today. But we've come up a little bit on the high-level route to somewhere called Crackpot Hall. Partly because we just love the idea of there being anywhere in the world called Crackpot Hall. And the view from here down the valley is wonderful. You can see all the way down the Swale Valley, and there at the bottom you can see the low level route of the coast to coast, which is the one we'll be taking for the rest of the day. And if I swing round a little bit further, you can see all that remains of Crackpot Hall. Today is very much a lazy day, but if you're going to have a lazy day, you couldn't find a better place to have one, really. It's taking our time getting to Reeth, but we'll get there and we'll enjoy every step of the way. If this is the low-level route, as I've been told, I'm starting to wonder where the high-level route is. I thought this was going to be a flat walk today. I think I've been conned. I don't know if you can see them now coming out over that horizon, but that's the top of the mountain. Ernie, that is not low. That's the top of the valley edge. This has now gone beyond a joke, Ernie. This is not a joke. This is not a low-level walk. You are on top of something. You're not at the bottom of the valley where I thought you were going to be. Oh well, it's still fun though.
Okay, here's Klinos going to try and get through this gap. Go on.
Haven't you pressed it yet?
Yes.
Oh, you've pressed it. Oh, thank you, Julia. Can you perhaps start again? No, I think I want you to...
Yeah, right, off you go, Klinos. You're trying to get through this tiny little gap.
Thank you, Julia. Right, this is a typical gateway hole. What's it called? Inner farm in the Dales, the Yorkshire Dales. Are we in the Dales?
It's a snicket.
It's a snicket. And I am a reasonably shaped woman, and I'm going to try and get through. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? Right, I will This is why some people don't go walking, you know. It's because they can't get over the flipping thingies. So, hang on. So, rucksack now being removed. Let's try again. Weight watchers, here we come. Can I get through? Can I get through? Slimming world, we're going to ask for sponsorship from you.
Well done.
Hello, here we are. We finally reached Reeth and we're standing, I'm standing, these three are sitting in front of the Burgoyne Hotel, which we've been told is the best hotel in Reeth, and it's where we're going to spend the night. Well, we are. Julia's not. She and Colin have got a caravan, I think, somewhere, but you know, we're living the dream. So, you've walked together. How have you all found it?
Very good, a lot cooler today. Very strange styles, as narrow as this, trying to get through time and time again with very springy gates on.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
And Julia, you were saying it's a bit different from Shropshire.
It's a lot hillier than Shropshire. Well, no, there's bits of Shropshire which are very hilly, but it's a lot hillier than the bit of Shropshire that I live in. So, yes.
But you're going to sleep well tonight.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Well, I'm buzzing.
You're buzzing, you're buzzing. And Ernie, you've been a total star because of my silly knee. You've ended up leading today when I was supposed to lead, and you led on the lower route, and you did it totally off spec, didn't you?
Yeah, thinking it might have been a bit shorter and less draining, but it turned out to be 15.1 miles.
That's
versus the 12 for the higher route.
so taking me on a lower route wasn't necessarily the easier thing to do. Well, thank you for doing that. Thanks all of you for being here today. I've really enjoyed it, and I think regardless of what my knee does, it's going to be a great sort of few days to come. Good morning. I'm whispering again, and I'm looking out of my hotel bedroom window at the beautiful village of Reeth. We're having a late start today. We're not starting until about 10 o'clock because we're hoping to be met by friends. And when we were discussing this, Ernie said that would be fine because we could spend the time looking around the shops. I'm looking out the window and I'm thinking, Ernie, there are no shops. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. So, following a wonderful breakfast at the Burgoyne Hotel, I'm now looking at Lorraine, relaxing in a beautiful lounge, and we've been talking about the differences in long distance walks because Lorraine's a very experienced walker of long distance walks, and a few years ago you did the Cleveland Way, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
And how far is the Cleveland Way?
That's about 96 miles.
So, how does that compare with the coast to coast? That's about...
Well, we did about 4.5 days.
Yeah, so half the distance. And how did you do it? Did you carry your stuff?
We carried everything. We did B&Bs, but we still carried everything ourselves. So we did try and reduce the weight in our packs, but it is still quite heavy.
Whereas this time we've had our bags carried for us and we've stayed in very nice places. So, and you were saying about weight.
I lost a stone on the Cleveland Way. So my daughters were concerned I wouldn't eat enough for this 2 weeks. And they did say, please make sure we eat enough. And I'm sorry, girls, but I've had double that and triple that I've normally ate. So I'm sure I have put on weight.
There you are. So don't worry about her. She's eating okay. And none of us are going to be able to walk at all after this. It didn't take us long to look around the shops in Reeth. So now we're on the road. It's a gorgeous day. It's a bit cloudy, but it's nicely warm for walking. And we're walking towards Marwick Priory. We've all said about how nice it is walking here. We've walked here so often because it's not far from where we live, but it's nice actually being here and having time to look at things slowly, to take our time. It's well worth a slow, steady, leisurely visit. We've climbed up to Marwick, which was a reasonable hike. But now we're up here again. I'll say, gosh, it's worth it. Even on a grey day like today, the views are spectacular. Some people say the coast to coast is really about the lakes, but no, every bit of it is an absolute gem.
Hello.
So we've arrived at the village of Mask. Now I live in the village of Mask, but I'm not supposed to be there until Saturday. So does this mean that Ernie and Lorraine have been walking far too fast again? No, it doesn't, because this is Yorkshire. That's a white van. This is Yorkshire, and in Yorkshire they like to confuse people. So we have Mask by the sea, which is where I live, and we have Mask. It might be Mask Yorkshire, Mask Richmond, or just Mask that isn't Mask by the sea. But this is where we are. We've walked for 6 miles, and we've got a few more to go before we get to Richmond. So this is a good place for lunch. We've left Mask and are walking up in our route towards Richmond. It's getting a lot steeper, a lot rockier, and we've been joined by a friend from Stockton Ramblers Club, Mike Collins, who's come all this way just to spend some time with us and to cheer us on our way. It's great, the friendships you make in Ramblers Clubs. And it's happened again. All along this walk, we meet other people doing the coast to coast, and we stop and we chat and we describe what's happened to us, the good things and the bad, making new friends along the way. And if we look back down the valley, I'm not sure if it'll pick up. You can see the clock tower of Mask Hall all the way down there, and that's where we've walked just since we've had our sandwiches. It goes quickly. So the swale has now broadened out, and having bored my walking colleagues senseless in the Lake District talking about U-shaped valleys and corries and so forth, I'm now boring them with talk of meanders and oxbow lakes. But here, standing in front of me, is our new walking buddy Mike and Lorraine. And Mike's come out to join us for the day. Mike and Lorraine have done lots of walking together, haven't you? Because you've been to...
Not so much the last year or two.
Well, I don't think anyone's so much walking the last year.
Snowdonia.
You went to Snowdonia. You did Crib Goch, didn't you?
We did.
Oh, we did, in gorgeous, gorgeous, sunny, hot, clear weather.
Some of us on our backsides
Well,
to be safe.
I think that's understandable for Crib Goch. I've still never been across there, and I don't think I ever will. And you did the Glyderau, and you did the Carneddau?
Yes.
Yes,
We did.
the whole lot.
The
And
North Ridge of Tryfan.
yeah, gosh, yeah. So today you're here, walking here with us. But it's lovely that you're here. You've done a lot of walking on the continent as well, haven't you? Don't you go to Austria? And
Yes, Austria, Italy, Dolomites. Long time ago, did the Tour de Mont Blanc.
yes, so this is the bloke to follow. He's obviously
He's looking for somewhere he hasn't found it yet.
he'll find it in the end. As long as he gets us to Richmond, because he's walked out from there, we'll be okay. Thanks, Mike. It's only 2 o'clock. And we're already at the outskirts of Richmond. This is so strange after the long, hard days we've had previously. But it's a nice way to end a day. It's official, we're definitely in Richmond. We know it because there's the castle. And we finally arrived at Richmond, and Richmond is a very special place because it's the home of the Altberg factory, isn't it? And what they make in the Alfred factory, they make
Our boats that have seen us through the journey so far.
Yeah, we're all wearing Alfred boots, aren't we? I've only just started wearing Alfreds. I had my first pair in May, just 2 days before I walked the West Highland Way, so I had no chance to walk them in. And they just did the walking for me, and I've never had any blisters when I did the West Highland Way, the walking in between, or now on the coast to coast. They've been fantastic.
I mean, they're advertisers needing to be walked in over 250 miles, where I found them perfect straight out the box. No issues at all.
This is my third pair, and twice I've had them resold and a new round on, and I would definitely recommend them.
So, yeah, if you're going to go coast to coasting, West Highland Waying, any long distance walking, just walking, yeah. We love Alfred, we love Richmond.
Homage to Alfred.
Yeah, and Richmond, this is the place to be. And we've arrived at the falls in Richmond, and we've come across two people that were in the same accommodation as us at Keld. They've obviously got here before us and have the ice creams on the go already.
Come and do a nice 10-mile stroll with us.
I think they're telling them the tales of what I've done to my poor friend Julia. So, you've got here before us.
We've been here since about 1:30.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we had lunch
boasting.
down by the river. What's left of the river? Not a lot of water.
Yeah,
But ice cream and pub now.
ice cream in the pub. Ice cream in the pub. And are you going to do this long walk tomorrow?
Yes, 23 miles. Ingleby Cross.
Ingleby Cross.
Yeah,
And
so early start.
yeah, but then the next day's a great day. Are you going to stop at
Ingleby Cross to Lakey Ridge.
21 miles.
21 miles. Yeah.
you're doing all that in one go?
Yeah. 23
I've done
miles
it in
tomorrow.
7 hours
Yeah.
last time I did it, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you stopping at Bluebell Inn?
No, a place called Estervale, which is just near Bluebell Inn. We're eating in Bluebell Inn on the night. And then we're staying at Lion Inn on Lakey Ridge.
Oh, well, the Lion Inn is famous.
Yeah.
So I'll let you get on with your ice creams and wish you luck. And so when you get to Robin Hood's Bay?
Friday.
Oh, right, we will see you in Robin Hood's Bay.
Absolutely, I
We'll
look
see you in
forward
Robin
to
Hood's
it,
Bay.
definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Very